Today we're going to learn about Sigmund Freud. He's a very interesting man, and his achievements in discovering the id, ego, and superego.
Who is Sigmund Freud? I'm here bedside in Freiburg, Austria, where Amelia Freud is on the road to delivery of her firstborn child, Sigmund Freud. Here's Dr. Frankel with a bedside update.
I'm here with Amelia Freud, and she's about to give her final push. Sigmund, it's a boy!
Sigmund Freud truly was an amazing human from birth to death. Freud was raised in a Jewish family in a largely Catholic community near Vienna. Sigmund and his 6 sisters and brothers all lived in a small living space in a Jewish slum. Sigmund got his own bedroom so he could concentrate on his studies, while the other 7 people in the house shared 3 rooms.
Ma! The meatloaf! We want it! We want it now!
After finishing his degree at Vienna, Sigmund Freud met a woman named Martha Bernays.
Hey, pretty lady. Why don't you shed your superego and follow your id straight to my heart?
Schwab. Oh my gosh, are you Sigmund Freud?
Dr. Sigmund Freud.
Impressive. Where did you get your residency?
Well, I've been working at the Allgemeine Krankenhaus Hospital for the past 3 years now.
And do you have any other ambitions?
Well, I plan on traveling to Paris to study the dynamics of the unconscious human mind of my colleague, John Geckel.
And when do you leave?
Actually, I'll leave tomorrow. But I'll never forget you.
I'll always be here waiting. Sigmund Freud visited Paris to study the brain. Under the guidance of Geckel, Sigmund began to learn about the brain and its makeup. Freud's interest soon flocked to the study of hysteria and Geckel's development of hypnosis. Hypnosis was a technique that changed someone's personal attention to draw changes in their bodily experiences. Freud became so enticed by this study that he moved back to Vienna and established his own private practice. Sigmund! Thank God I found you! I discovered something spectacular!
Your fly's undone. What is it?
Hypnosis! It is possible!
Elaborate.
I use hypnosis to trace the trauma all the way back to an event in the patient's life. It's called catharsis.
Psychoanalysis!
His breakthrough in the ability to connect people's lives through previous events led him to begin working on his first work, Studies on Hysteria. Freud's interest in the unconscious human thought continued to be studied and written upon by him and many other scientists, for his theories had become wildly popular.
You are getting very sleepy.
I remember!
Freud's in-depth research into the mind and the unconscious thought led him to develop multiple theories. The basis for his psychoanalysis began with the study of sex drives, but more research led him to develop the topographical models of personality. His theory stated that there are 3 principles that the mind operates on: the id, the ego, and the superego.
The superego is the learned conscience from morals and from the law. This is often established by the age of 5, and the caretaker has a large effect on his or her life.
Brett! Son! Drop it! Yes!
The id principle operates on the wants and needs of a person. It's what makes babies cry.
Well, I'm hungry! Well, Mommy, I want food!
I'm coming, honey. Hold on, sweetie. Here you go.
Lastly, and most importantly, the ego takes the needs of the id and the superego. It also takes notice of the situation before the decision is made.
Look, there's only one more piece of gum left. What should I do?
Eat it.
Don't eat it. It's not morally right to take the last piece of someone else's pack of gum.
What are you, afraid?
Your mother would be very disappointed in you.
Whoa, everybody, I have a solution. Why don't you split it in half? You can take half and leave the other half for somebody else who may want a piece.
That's a really good idea.
Fine. However, Freud's theory of the id, ego, and superego were not his only accomplishments. Freud also wrote many books on the interpretation of dreams and how dreams can be analyzed to differentiate people's personalities. His theory stated that there are two parts of a dream, the manifest content and the latent content. The manifest content is what you would remember from the dream. The latent content is the underlying theme or hidden part of the dream that personally satisfies your desires from the previous day, and these usually have a sexual correlation.
This is my patient, Hayden Squire, taking a nap, and I will soon be awaking her, see if I can analyze her dream through my four-step method of free association. What was your dream about?
It was very strange. I was walking through school, and all the students were hiding in a tree.
Oh.
I kept trying to climb up the tree, but all the students kept pushing me down the sticks. Then out of the blue, my mom came out and called me home for supper, and I went home.
Is there anything else odd that you remember?
Yes, it had a very abrupt ending.
Thank you. That is all. There are two aspects of my theory that are evident in her dream. The first being the use of phallic symbols throughout the dream. Most dreams are created to relieve sexual tension and stress throughout previous days. In the imagery of trees, twigs, sticks, elongated objects like those are frequently represented as male genitalia. Similarly, closets, boxes, chests, hollowed out objects represent the female genitalia. The second aspect noticeable is the abrupt yet realistic ending. For example, in her dream, she had a wild beginning, but yet a calm and believable ending. And it is the final step of the four-part free association method, and it is used to cover up the latent content of her dream.
Despite his great success, Freud's endless pursuit of psychoanalysis was unfortunately cut short because he contracted mouth cancer in 1923 and eventually died 16 years later in 1939.
And that's what the life of a psychoanalyst is like. Class dismissed.